Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Call. I'm Keely McCormick.
And I'm Malik Jackson. We have a great show for you today. We're live in Salt Lake City as the Jayhawks get ready to take on Northeastern in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
That's right. We're going to talk a lot about the big dance, but we've also got some important news for you guys and, of course, some icon bearing good news.
So stay tuned. Today is
March 22nd,
2019, and Wake Up Call starts right now. And welcome back to Wake Up Call, as only Wake Up Call can give you full and complete coverage, as today is day one of the NCAA tournament round of 64, and Wake Up Call has live and complete coverage. Now we're going to turn to Ellen Terhune, who's live in Salt Lake City at the arena where the Jayhawks square off against Northeastern in just a few hours. Ellen, what can you tell us?
I'm here in Vivint Smart Home Arena where KU will take on Northeastern in just a little more than 6 hours. KU has struggled on the road all year, but here in Salt Lake City, they may be facing another problem. KUJH reporter Jose Montoya explains what that problem may be.
As altitude increases, sport performance decreases. Kansas men's basketball is in Salt Lake City for its first round matchup with Northeastern, and one of the challenges they will face includes playing in a different climate. Regardless of the task that lies ahead, KU student athletic trainer Ali Garshania says the higher elevation can cause shortness of breath and dizziness.
If you notice any symptoms, you may personally have shortness of breath quicker and you may fatigue a little bit quicker.
But Garshania says the Jayhawks won't be using the elevation of Vivint Smart Arena as an excuse.
But that's okay. Other teams are, Auburn, Northeastern, they're gonna have to adapt to these same conditions.
In Salt Lake City, the elevation is just above 4,000 feet, where in Lawrence, it's just slightly above a mere 800 feet. But the team is not stressed about the difference in altitude.
We had to focus on a little bit of hydration, stuff like that, but we're not too concerned about it. They just told us to hydrate a lot.
In Salt Lake City, Jose Montoya, KUJH Sport.
Well, I know I feel the altitude. I can't even carry the cameras into this building without getting out of breath, which is why I make them carry it. But anyway, I'm here with Zach Fisher, who was at the Big 12 Championships last weekend, and he says this team will be playing with a chip on their shoulder today.
That's right. I'm talking about the altitude. Actually, I can't really go anywhere with being out of breath or doing anything with out of breath. So that's just me. Altitude doesn't affect me. But yes, I actually caught up with a couple of the KU players, as Ellen just said, after the Big 12 tournament, talking about this season's a little different. They didn't win the conference. They've had injuries and eligibilities, some inexperience. So this tournament's a little different, and they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder, something to prove.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot to prove. Obviously our focus is on next week, and wherever they put us is where we're going to play. So I mean we're going to have to come out and prove a lot of things to a lot of people.
It's not a cute lady.
Now, Zach, looking at this game, what are some of the keys to KU getting a win here today and moving on to the second round?
So Northeastern is a very good three-point shooting team. They have 4 3-point shooters that are above 40% on the season. Their best shooter is Vashika Pushitska, if I said that correctly. Doubt I did. He's from Serbia and actually went to Sunrise Stout in Wichita. And he shot 7 of 12 in their conference championship for 21 points. All of his points were from three-point land. That's all he's shooting right now. And we know that KU, they kind of have a problem guarding that three. Garrett's our best perimeter guard, but we have a tendency to leave people open on that perimeter.
And yesterday, the players said, the key to beating KU is being hot from the three, and they think that they are fully capable of doing that.
For sure, and then on the flip side of that for the three, you see in the Big 12 championship game, they were 0 for 8 from the three-point line right away. That can't happen. I'm not saying whether it's 50%, 35%. They need to make some threes in the first half to get it going, because you can't get yourself in a hole, especially in March Madness, especially on the road, as we know. KU is not well on the road with all their inexperience. So they need to get some threes going and transitioning into Quentin Grimes as well. That's not necessarily from three-point land. We saw some good old-fashioned Michigan State Quentin Grimes against West Virginia in the Big 12 championship game. He had 18 points left of the cramp. but he's 5 for 5 from 3 in the first half. He doesn't need to be that. He doesn't need to do that. No. He just needs to have his confidence, and he needs to awake a little bit more in March, kind of like Malik Newman last year, if you remember that. Yeah. So if the KU's going to be able to bring this back to KC, we're going to need to guard the 3, shoot the 3, and Quentin, hey, big stage. It's ready for you.
Yeah, and for KU's 4 freshmen, they're going to have to play like they've been here before, and we'll see if they can do it. And stay tuned for the 3 o'clock tip-off here in
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. Going back to you guys.
Ellen Terhune and Zach Fisher live in Salt Lake. Thank you guys so much. Now over to Keely at the desk. Keely.
Zach for that great report all the way from Salt Lake City. Now we're going to move on to some news. A new report has come out on the Boeing 737 MAX that crashed 6 months ago. The previous flight it had taken was saved when an off-duty pilot in the cockpit stepped in to help the 2 pilots when it began to nosedive. The next flight would crash, killing all 189 passengers and crew on board. Boeing, according to workers for the airline, will be installing new software to prevent this problem. All 737 MAX 8 and 9s were grounded after the fatal crash a few weeks back that led to the death of 157 passengers and crew of an Ethiopian flight. And Donald Trump revived his attacks on late Senator and war hero John McCain yesterday at a speech in Ohio that was designed in part to highlight the military and some of their tanks, saying things like, "He just wasn't my type of guy." Take a look.
A funeral that he wanted, which as president I had to approve. I don't care about this. I didn't get thank you. That's okay. Not my kind of guy, but some people like him, and I think that's great.
And Meghan McCain, John McCain's daughter, had a response to Trump's attacks on her father. She says that Trump has reached a new bizarre low. She believes that her father would find it hilarious that the president is so jealous of him that he was dominating the news cycle in his death. McCain proceeds to talk about the issue of cyberbullying, but reassures everyone that the family does not want sympathy because they are blessed with support, but to feel bad for those who are being cyberbullied without the same support. And singer, songwriter, and alleged sex abuser R. Kelly is looking to get out of the country and back on stage, but he needs to get a judge's permission first. The singer had to give up his passport after his arrest. He faces 10 charges of criminal sexual abuse, and Kelly has 4 shows on his schedule in Germany next month. His lawyer is looking for a way to allow the R&B star to travel for work-related purposes. People caught with pot in Lawrence won't have to fork out as much in the fines anymore as the city commission meeting lowered the fines for possession. They're decreasing the current fine for possessing small amounts of marijuana from $200 to $1. You have to be at least 18 years old and have less than 32 grams of grass on you. It also has to be one of the first 2 possession charges. Some people told the commission this may negatively affect school-age people in Lawrence. Others passionately disagreed and say this measures a step in the right direction. The commissioners voted 4-1, with Stuart Bully being the only one opposing the change. He says the penalties can be misleading, as the third offense may result in a felony record. And according to Chancellor Douglas Girod, KU plans to start looking for the permanent provost position at the end of this semester. Girod says they should appoint the permanent provost by the beginning of 2020. The search is to find a replacement for Neely Bendapudi, who left the position last year to be the president of the University of Louisville. Carl Kejes is the dean for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and he has been filling in as interim provost since Bendapudi's departure. The chancellor is happy with the job he has done and would welcome him as a candidate if he is interested. And coming up after the break, we will be back to talk about the Bachelor finale, all the surprises that it had, and Weather Gal Sal is back to tell us what to look forward to the weather. So stay tuned.
When you shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
Welcome back to Wake Up Call once again. Now we're going to talk a little bit about The Bachelor. The 23rd season came to an end while we were on spring break last week, and it was quite a surprise to Bachelor fans across the U.S. For those of you who do not know what happened, in a nutshell, basically, Colton jumped the fence, basically broke all the rules of The Bachelor. He dumped 2 out of the 3 girls at once, ended the show a little bit early, and confessed his love to Cassie. The 2 are now dating, and the show did not end in a proposal. So Malik, I know you are an avid Bachelor fan. You watch it every week. So what's your opinion on the show overall and on what you've heard about this season?
I'm not an avid Bachelor fan. I do not watch it. I think that the little, it's all for TV. It's made for TV. The fence jump was made for TV. And so now the fact that, you know, they got what they wanted, the producers got what they wanted, but no, I mean, no dog in this fight. But I did see that the new Bachelorette that they picked is not one that's liked by many so far.
Yeah, Hannah B. She tended to growl throughout the show. I don't know if you saw any of those clips, but she'd be talking and then would just make weird animal noises. So everyone kind of labeled her as crazy, and you know, but we'll see. She maybe will be entertaining to watch. That's, I think, what they do when they pick the Bachelors and Bachelorettes.
They try to pick the ones that are entertaining.
Definitely, yeah.
Alrighty, moving along to weekend review. Presidential hopeful Beto O'Rourke broke the record that Bernie Sanders has just set. He brought in the most donations in 24 hours after announcing his candidacy. That number, a whopping $6.1 million, with the average donation of just $47 a person.
And talk show host Wendy Williams revealed on her show that she had been and still resides in a sober house dealing with a cocaine addiction. She's opened a tip line for others out there who seek help with overcoming addiction.
And prosecutors in the Robert Kraft case, the Patriots owners, they have made a deal with him. They have proposed a deal. He has yet to accept the deal. The terms of the deal basically say that if he admits that if he went to trial, he would have lost, then he will be, all the charges will be dropped against him. But again, he has yet to accept that deal.
And lastly, we're going to talk about Egg Boy. A teenager in Australia has gone viral after smashing an egg on a senator's head. This followed the senator blaming Muslims for the New Zealand mosque massacre. The boy was arrested but wasn't charged, and the Prime Minister of Australia has publicly spoken out, saying the senator should be charged for slapping the boy.
And I think we have video of that.
Yeah, that video is playing, and that is a rather, I don't know, I was watching it, thought, oh, he's smashing a boy. And
what I said was
really,
that
really hits him,
terribly
goes at
unfortunate.
it. So, I don't know, I thought that was kind of
I think
to
it was
watch.
kind of a remarkable whole scenario. The guts of the boy to take the egg to the
Again,
senator's head.
I don't know what he was
know.
thinking there to begin with, but overall, it was just not a good situation.
Yeah, absolutely not. And stay tuned because Weather Gal Sal is back.
Woo!
All that and much more when we come back on Wake Up Call.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near.
For rain is going to be very low today. And so moving on, you can see what to expect for the upcoming temperatures. The warm temperatures are going to go from 50 to 60s, warming up later into the 70s by next month, and you'll start to see flowers bloom and everything come. So the rain chances will return, and so spring is officially here, and cloudy skies are going to come throughout the day. Every now and then you'll see a couple sprinkles in the week coming on. And so tomorrow, it'll be warmer in the 64 degrees. The low will be around 34. Same thing with the wind. It'll be around 5 to 10 mile per hour. And the precipitation will be around 10%. So as you can see, the week forecast will be all throughout the 60s and moving on. It'll slow down a little bit with the rain. It'll cool down with the temperatures. And the lows will be a lot warmer and closer to the 40s and warming up as we go on to the rest of the year. So yeah, and we're going to toss it back to Keely and Malik for more bearing good news.
YouTubers soaked it up. He now has thousands of YouTube subscribers, and his mother wishes that this will help, his talent will help raise awareness and improve accessibility and resources for the visually impaired. And look at him, he's just a cute little guy playing the piano and doing what he loves.
What an absolutely great story there. And you know, one of the best piano players I know ever is also blind.
Really?
Stevie Wonder.
Love it.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Okay,
what are we doing anchoring? We should be singers.
I'm going to change my career. As we fast approach the KU game today, tipping off at 3:20 Central Time on TNT, like Ellen told you guys. Have you filled out your brackets? I filled mine out yesterday. And my Final Four, I have Michigan State, Marquette, KU, Tennessee, with Michigan State and KU squaring off in the national championship game, with KU winning 76-71.
Yeah, wow, Malik, that is an ambitious. You just love the Jayhawks. I love the
people
fame.
always say, "Well, KU's not that good. They can't do it this year." Well, there's been teams that are worse than this KU team that have been to the Final Four, that have made a March run, and we have the players that can turn on a switch, okay, and get with it and take us there. And I mean, the Tennessee rematch, we can take that. Kentucky, UNC won't be able to beat us in Sprint Center. Roy Williams can't come back and do that.
Okay, I won't shoot you down. I like the confidence.
Do you have a similar Final Four?
I have Duke, Michigan, Tennessee, and North Carolina. But
You have North Carolina beating your Jayhawks?
I wish I didn't.
It's called faith. Have faith in your team.
I hope they prove me wrong, but
they will prove you wrong. I do think a team that will make a surprise run in the tournament is 5-seed Marquette. And as we were filling this out,
my dad would love to hear this. Steve McCormick.
She informed me that her dad would love that because he is a graduate of Marquette University. I think that they have one of the best players in the country over there. And I think that it'll be a good tournament.
It'll be fun to watch.
Sure. Will you be watching that game later today?
Yes, I will. I have a lot to do, so I'll be watching it from my phone as I go through classes. I'm kind of hoping the teachers put it on for us.
Yeah, well, I don't actually have class then, but it's all KU's fault. We should have had spring break the normal week, and we would be out of school for this game.
Or they should have canceled classes for today.
I agree with that. So, 3:20 East Central Time, check it out. TNT, the Jayhawks will square off against 13-seeded Northeastern.
And then if we win that game, we'll be playing on Saturday.
Absolutely. For Katie McCormick, I'm Malik Jackson. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you right back here next Thursday at 10 a.m. And go Jayhawks.
Rock Chalk, have a great weekend.